I'm Melissa Mushaka, and you're watching Mushaka's Motivation Monday. Come with me as I chat with designer, creator, fashion genius, Charles Harbison, and get a scoop on what motivates him. You launched your line literally 2013, 2 years ago, and you have gone from this idea to a living, breathing, successful concept. What do you feel?
I like that.
That's what it is. What were the core steps that you feel like went from this idea to a walking, tangible line?
Well, I mean, the Harbison really came out of a new stage of my life that I was in. I turned 30.
Yay, 30!
Yay, 30. And with that came, I don't like what's happening, or I don't like the trajectory that I'm on. I had been working really hard for really successful businesses, but my personal quality of life was not where I wanted it to be. So Harbison was kind of born out of this life cleanse that I did. Not to sound super eat, pray, love, but it was a genuine place that I was in where I left work and began living off my savings and took on yoga as a practice. Really became more thoughtful about my life as a vegan.
You feel a lot of your success started within before it was like tangibly out.
I never thought about it like that. I definitely say so. Emitting positivity, but having it reflected back to me and the people around me, like those were things that I was trying to curate for my life. And so...
And with that birthed...
So clearly
the
those
gem.
things they were transferred from just my life, but also into my baby.
Is the work different in terms, and when I say work, the intensity of the work different than, Harbison starting in your apartment to Harbison having his own office in the studio?
Harbison was a project that came out of me wanting to keep my portfolio up to date. So once I came off of this furlough of sorts and started interviewing, I just wasn't happy with the places I was finding, so I didn't want to have a break in my portfolio. I didn't want to skip a season in my book, so I was going to make some samples. Yeah. Stay committed, make some samples. I had always developed most of my product out of Italy, the places that I'd worked, but I'd been able to connect with a few factories here by way of special projects that I did at the companies that I worked with and worked at. So they were really kind enough to take a chance to make some samples for me. I shot some images. I had a name for the collection, but I wasn't very focused on making it a thing. I just wanted to make sure I had current work. A friend had a sales showroom. She's like, well, put the samples in my showroom. I was like, okay, whatever. Didn't get a sale or anything like that. But so it was, that first collection was just about staying current and using the resources that I had to make some things. The images, however, that I shot ended up at Vogue by way of a really wonderful stylist that I was working with, Catherine Neal Schaefer, and it turned, and my mentor, Patrick Robinson. So, the images ended up at Vogue, and then Mark Holgate and Virginia Smith and Chioma Nadi were all very kind and thoughtful, amongst several other girls there at Vogue were so kind and affirming and encouraging, and ended up giving me my debut feature in September issue Vogue.
You feel free now, even though the level you are at, a beautiful level, it's pressure. It's a platform that demands a lot of you. Is the freedom still existing?
I have to keep fighting for it to exist, because it doesn't inherently exist.
Okay. Fighting how so? Or fighting who? Ooh. Just kidding.
See? That's getting us in trouble.
I know, getting us in trouble. Just curious, who we need to fight? Pop on.
I mean, it's an industry. This is it's part of a capitalist construct in which we live, so it is not inherently human, right? So in order to like maintain your humanness in it all, you've got to carve that out. So I have to say what I can and cannot do, and I want to do it all because I love designing. I love clothes. I love fashion. I want to do everything, but then I also want to be alive.
Yes. What are the things when there's some days, because every day is different, some days we work harder than others, and some days, for me, I'm just not that motivated, or it's harder for me to get that push. What are your steps, your inner talk, your go-tos to say, Charles, Charlie?
That's literally exactly what it sounds like, because you know where I'm from.
I do, so, North Carolina.
Yes, that's exactly how it sounds.
What's Charlie saying?
Thinking about myself only takes me so far, and when I feel probably the most depleted, I end up working on the behalf of the love around me. So it becomes about, well, I can't stop because, you know, my mother has been so amazing to me and so supportive in real ways and getting me here, not only just raising me, but also in the realm of Harbison. So I can't do her that disservice. I can't stop because I know that it gives my grandmother so much pride and so much joy to see the things that are happening. And then even just straight away looking around at my friends, they've been so, they themselves have invested so much into this dream of mine, and it's really a village project. Like, I work with my friends, and it's like, you know, you cannot stop because you have to make good on all of those investments.
Right.
So
it stops becoming about you.
It has.